and that's why I blanked. You guys didn't hear any talking for a minute. I forgot. I blinked out because I had to switch over because the person calling is part of the show. And it's like the only reason they will be calling me during the show is if something is going on, show-related. And I forgot when I switched over that Eaton was talking, and I didn't want, after I clicked off, I didn't even give her a chance to say anything because I'm like, oh, shoot, the listeners don't hear anything now. I'm like, you know what? We're doing the show. And she's like, well, did you get the call? And I'm like, I got to call you back. And now I'm realizing there's a problem going on with the people that are handling this show. So I don't know if we're going to be able to take any calls because maybe no one's manning the chat room or manning the phones, or if we need to end the show early, or I don't know how that's going to go. Hopefully I'll get a text from someone and let me know what the deal is. But because I was getting ready to say, why don't we see if anybody has any questions for you? But I don't watch the chat room. I don't even know how to get in the thing. As it is today, I was able to find the show, and then when I got kicked off the air, the show wasn't there. So it's showing May the 5th and then June the 16th. I don't see any evidence of June 2nd or 3rd, so I don't know what to say. I would really like for people to be able to ask a question. But, yeah, the brother has gotten to the point where, like he's trying to tell you, as simple as it seems, he's even controlling the weather around himself. At first he was like, Yaffa, I was like, this got to be coincidence. And after a while he's like, no, this got to be me. Every single time? Every single time? He's like, I like to go out running every day at a certain time of day. And, where I'm living, it's been storming like crazy here. And I'm like, okay, I needed to quit raining just long enough for me to go out and run. Now, this is the brother. He's still on the phone. I needed to stop raining long enough for me to go out here and finish my run. And it'll be raining. He opens the door, the sun is out. He runs his run, he gets back in, and starts storming again. And that's been like, what, every time?
Oh, yeah, every time. Every time that, I'm dealing with weather situations. Definitely, every time. Like I said, like you said, it started off, I was like, man, this got to be, coincidence, stuff like that. But, and when you see the same thing happen over and over and over at the same time, over and over and over, you realize, you have to come to realize that, that's got to be you doing something when you are trying to make that particular situation happen.
And not having to try very hard. You don't even have to do that much work to make the situation happen. I'm sure there are a ton of questions for the brother. Unfortunately, I don't think that the phone line or the chat room is being manned at this time because something is wrong where my switchboards and the people that run the show are concerned. I got a text about an emergency, so I think we're just kind of out here. I don't know if you wanted to – well, you know what? The science that I want to give everybody, which I may because I thought we were going to be able to fill up until 10 with you and people asking you questions because they can't – a lot of people can't accept it coming from me because I'm a sister and I'm talking about we ain't a Moorish and I'm talking about we Americans and we ain't Americans and whatever people's nonsense are, and Hebrew Israelites talking about that sister shouldn't even be out there speaking. She should give that information to her brother. Don't she know that women's place is to be quiet? A man is supposed to be talking. I'm like, you know what? It's time for your patriarchy and your patriarchal thinking to die. I'm serious because you're making a mess of the planet with that patriarchal nonsense. You are the matriarch before you become the patriarch. You are material of matter and mother before you become the pattern of paternity and father. Anyway, did you want to add anything else? Because since we don't have anybody manning the room, then I'm going to go on and give them the science. But there's a little scientific process I was going to give the listeners that I gave the brother before. And there are people that call me. And as they talk to me, they get heads up. They wind up getting ahead of you guys because I keep telling people, you can call me, you can email me, or you can text me or have me call you back. And there are those that are legitimately serious that contact me on a regular basis via phone calls or emails, and there are those that I don't hear from. And I don't know if that means you're not doing things. That's like why I addressed the open heart surgery, and the pacemaker, and the hypertension, because people call me, Sister Yaffa, I have high blood pressure. Is it okay for me to take a salt bath? I mean, at least they have the sense to ask. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying those of you that don't contact me don't have any sense. I'm saying that those of you that are not contacting me may not be being as diligent as some other individuals are being. I was talking to a young brother earlier today who, you know, he started trying Eaton's method, laying on his back, and at least I think he is laying on his back, because I know he was doing the sounds all along. But I've given some of the people that call me on a regular basis his method. Try his way, laying flat on your back with your feet on the floor and your knees up in the air and your arms at your side. And one brother was like, Yaffa, man, stuff is happening quickly. Said, I went to work today and I got a job offer. And then later on I got another job offer. You know, he didn't want either one of the jobs, but he got 2 job offers just yesterday. So I'm saying that to say, as Bobby Hemmett would say, you do this work, you'll be one of these niggas that go online. And I ain't talking about killing nothing, and I ain't talking about doing nothing extra. Have you killed anything, Eaton? Have you sacrificed a single thing, skipped any babies?
No, ma'am, I wouldn't do nothing like that anyway.
Exactly. But, you know, there are people that are doing that kind of stuff, killing goats and, you know, wringing the necks of chickens and drinking blood and all kind of stupid stuff. Every time you take a deep breath and inhale, you're drinking blood. Every time you utter these sounds, you're drinking blood. When you go, see, you're bringing blood in, letting blood out. Remember, blood is the fluid of spirit, gas, atoms, molecules, energies, the life force of vitality. That is blood, and it's not red, even though if you're looking at the color of the rainbow spectrum, red is in there. It's got all the rainbow colors in it. That's why these people are trying to poison everybody and kill everybody, either because they're doing it on purpose because they're stuck in low chakras, or they're doing it on purpose because they want to keep you stuck in low chakras. I seriously doubt that these people that are committing all these blood rituals and killing people in sacrifice to cause people to cause things to be damnable and cursed, and I'm talking about the powers that want to be, these people at the very top, who are child molesters by nature, who are cannibals by nature, who are individuals that commit and practice incest, very close incest, on a regular basis, by culture, by nature. And they want to tell the rest of the world that we have too many useless eaters. I think they're useless eaters. Prime example, the people that they're calling useless eaters, which are the so-called poor people of different rainbow stocks and ethnic groups, these are the workers out here doing all the dang work, while the useless eaters are sitting up in castles and in whatever their little incested out houses are, their little palace of we're only screwing one another and marrying one another all day, or sitting up in the Vatican on gold that they stole from everybody else, and they have the IRS robbing you blind, and you don't know who the IRS is. You don't know who these people are, but you got people that are hoarders. They hoard in greed, and there is no shortage. They're like, oh, we have a shortage of food and a shortage of gasoline, and we have a shortage of tanzanite and a shortage. If there is a shortage, it is because these greedy, control-freak, survival-minded, low-frequency sex addicts on some blood-letting, cursed, damnable mindset, not mind flow, because there's nothing flowing about it. They're in a mindset. They think everyone else is a useless eater, but they want us to work every day and call us lazy. Oh, you know, black people, they're just lazy. No. So-called black people are just tired. We're not lazy. We're tired. Now, these individuals sit around all day just like back in so-called slave days. They're up on the porch walking around with parasols, sipping tea, while we're out in the hot sun baking and working, or our predecessors and ancestors were, and they're sitting around calling us lazy. Well, you're sitting on your ass doing nothing. We're out here doing the work. Same with the Pope and them. They're sitting on their asses doing nothing while everybody else is working, being robbed by this tax coming out, this tax coming out. A lot of people, when you were a teenager and you got your first check and you were told you were going to make X, Y, Z dollars an hour, you know how to do math. You did the math. It's like, oh, cool, my check is going to be this amount of money. You got your check, and it's like, where's my money? And then you started going, who the hell is FICA? Who's SDI? You know what I'm saying? That's your first check as a teenager. But your money is going so that those people can sit up on golden stools and velvet chairs and have tea parties and all this other nonsense and call the people lazy. Just like you got Congress and these other people on some whole other stuff about, oh, you know, the people, we have to cut back this, we have to cut back that. There's a shortage of this and a shortage of that, but you haven't heard any of them voting for a salary cutback, not one individual in the House of Representatives or not one senator or any of these people sitting up in the House of Congress. None of them have voted to cut back their salaries. None of them have decided to turn in their gas cards. None of them have decided to turn in their personal cars or get up off of their little houses and all their citizen-bought laptops that they sit around playing on while they should be paying attention during a congressional session. You haven't seen not one of them offer to get up off of their private jet running a bunch of fuel at these high gas prices, but they want you to suffer. But anyway, I'm digressing as always. Since I don't think we're going to have time, but should I give him this science? Do I have time? I think I do have time. You think I got time to give him the science I gave you in reference to your relative, or do you think I should just let you?
Oh, yeah, definitely give them that. Definitely give them that, because, you know, that negative energy, you know, that's a toxic situation.
Yeah, I do want to give it to him, but I'm wondering if I have time because I don't know what's going on with my switchboard. But let's give you the science. Did you want to stay online with me, or you want to get off, or is your call?
Oh, I'll stay here with you.
Okay. For individuals who you know there are people out there that harbor hateful, hurtful, hostile thoughts towards you, or for some reason there are people out there because they victimized you some kind of way. Every time their name comes to your mind, it could be some brother you can't get along with. I mean, we talking blood relatives. It could be your own mother. It could be your father or stepfather or uncle that molested you as a child, or whatever the case may be. It could be some neighbor or supervisor that drives you crazy. If you have an individual that every single time you think about them, your whole gut just goes in knots, or the energy about them is bad, or you know these people are cursing you or sending you bad energy, because there are people out there that are actually doing root work against other people, which is dumb, because somebody's like, well, you know, these blood sacrifices and whatever, that stuff doesn't work. I'm like, it does work, but it works at a very low level and a very low frequency, and it keeps these people very much stuck. The stuff I'm talking about works much better. It's a higher realm of power. It's true power, real power, from the invisible realm that involves killing nothing and no one. It only involves man knows thyself and empowering oneself. But for those individuals that have people like that, there's a process that you're going to do, and many times the reason you're picking up these bad vibes from people is because oftentimes they're sending them to you telepathically, thinking about you badly, talking about you badly, or whatever the case may be. So you may want to write this down, and if you don't, you're going to have to go back and listen to the show again. I'm going to give you a science, the simple science. It works. How long did it take you to do it, Eden?
What?
How long did it take you to do this science when you did it? 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Oh, oh man, it's probably 2 minutes. It don't take no time.
Did it work?
Oh, yeah, it worked. It worked. I did it actually for 2 separate incidents.
Okay, 2 separate people. Now, you're going to nullify these hostile thoughts or the janky vibrations you get whenever this person comes to mind. And I had to use it on some neighbors that were upstairs from me, trying to do Santeria rituals and curse me. They don't know who they screwing with. You don't know who you met. You don't know me. You really don't. So they trying to make me move, and I was going to move, but they wound up having to break their lease, and they're gone. And they were only here for a little over 2 months, and they are gone screwing around with me, because all that stuff they directed at me bounced back and went right back at them like a mirror sending back laser beams. Anyway, you